What is good, ladies and gents? Is the UK Fuel Ninja. Hope you're all doing alright. The sun does exist, apparently. It's not winter all the time, even though it feels like it. It's absolutely screwing with me this year. Absolutely nearly screwing with me. I'll show you an update on the plants in a little bit. I'm still filming them as they come along, but the 3 autos have all popped and are all coming along fairly nicely. They look very healthy. The mazar of them is probably the nicest to look at, but I'll show you as they get a bit bigger, and then I'll put the video out once I put them up into their homes and they go outside to see what they do. And the test subjects, unfortunately 2 of them have been murdered by slugs or snails or whatever. It's like I was saying, you can never guarantee that any of these seeds is going to get all the way to harvest. How can you know? Can you predict the future? Anyway, so I got the Mazar Sharif seeds, which is where you get all your kushes from. Very, very potent indica strain, probably the most potent of the indica strains, but it's the landrace. It's a very pretty plant, and it's something that I wanted for a little while, but this is what happens when you wait too long. Had I bought it a couple of years back, or even last year, when they were still on sale, I would have got 12 seeds for 32 quid instead of 7 seeds for 58 quid, because they are sold out everywhere, and the only last stock that's left is in the hands of seed banks. I'm not sponsored by them. I said I'd give them a shout out, and they are Attitude seeds. I think they're based down in Brighton or something like that, and they gave me a whole bunch of free seeds. But to be honest with you, most seed banks do that. So anyway, if they turn out alright, I said I'd send some people their way, but we'll see what happens. See how it goes. Unfortunately, I'm not. This is. What is it? Tobacco. Try not to smoke this stuff too much, but it's hard. But what I have done is I've got some tobacco seeds coming. So I'm going to plant some tobacco plants and not make my own, because that would be illegal now, and we wouldn't want to upset HMRC or anything like that, would we? With all their tax thievery that they do. But yeah. Also on the topic of seeds, little bit of something. So I started this back in 2017 after a bunch of stuff happened to me, and my eyes opened up and my ears started hearing stuff, and got a kick in the face, a bit of a whipping, and realised some stuff that's going on here. And I was watching grow videos to figure out how I was going to grow these plants and to get some ideas, and I did a whole bunch of theoretical research, learnt the theory behind all this stuff, and as you well might know, you can have all the theory in the world, but until you have put your hands to it, it's not going to work out so well. I mean, you might have all the research in your head to tell you how to grow the world's best tomatoes, but you put those seeds in the ground for the first time and you try it, you ain't going to be growing the world's best tomatoes. I'm not bullshit. Not unless you are some green-fingered person who is sings to the plants by just merely standing next to them, and they just want to grow and grow and grow. Anyway, at that point in time, there wasn't really a lot here in the UK for growers, and really the main one that I was watching was UK Growmaster, UK Growmaster Yoda. So watched UK Growmaster Yoda for probably about 6 months. Watched his videos back, saw how he was doing, how he'd kind of put it all out. Watched a bunch of people in America, but nothing here really for the UK. We've got people up ahead. Yeah, anyway, so want to give him a shout out, because really, if I have inspired anyone at all to want to do this, then that comes from him. So I'll put a link down in the bottom for his channel, but he's also at the point now where he's got his own genetics for sale. We're not sponsored by him and take no profit in any seeds that he sells, but out of the love for the UK growers, and out of the inspiration that he gave me to start doing it and documenting it and putting it up on YouTube, I thought that I would give him a shout out. Not that I haven't been given him shout outs many times before, and telling people to go and watch him. Yeah. You'll see that he is way more skilled than me by a long shot. He's deep water culture, hydroponics, LED, metal halide, outdoor grows, indoor grows, multiple strains. He knows what he's doing. So you should go and check him out. And it kind of is a bit, I don't know, it's a bit upsetting to me to think I have more subscribers than him, all things considered. Yeah, I think it's a bit unfair. Not that it's about subscribers or anything like that, it's never been about that. But, you know, I'm getting close to this random up here, so I'll come back in a sec. Anyway, sorry about that. Random person now shouting. So, there's a random woman walking on her own with a leash, and that tells me one of two things. There's no dog, not one that I've seen anyway. Didn't see any dogs barking or anything like that, so that there be either a thief or that be a copper. So that's what they like to do, walk around with a leash. Makes it look like they're I'm just walking my dog, innit? I'm not up to anything shady or nothing like that, but why they'd be down here I don't know, so maybe surmising something incorrectly, but I am but a man full of foolishness. And yeah, anyway, so I'll put a link down for Growmaster Yoda's Medi Seeds, and if you want to contact him on Instagram, he will hook you up, and I'm pretty certain they will be some good stuff. But yeah, well, anyway, the weather is not great, and since I grow purely 100% naturally, I don't use any artificial lights. I try to keep all food organic. I do use the ionic stuff, which is a universal profile. So if you don't know what universal profile fertilizers are, I leave you to go and have a look at them, but they don't need an A and a B mix, it's just all there in one, and you basically can use that from seedling to flowering and it'll be perfectly fine. It can be used in soil, it can be used in hydroponics, so it's an all-round fertilizer, more than capable of doing its job, and it's a UK based company, so try and help that out, right, for the UK as much as we can. Tobacco. Yeah, anyway, so I bought some tobacco seeds. Dude, more randoms. Okay, give me a sec, I'll be right back. Honestly, I don't know what it is. It's like, I've walked down here for years. I've been walking down here since I was probably about 12 years old. And never really ever see anyone down here. But all of a sudden, since everyone's been locked down, meaning going out of their house all the time and not listening, which is a good thing, they've obviously found this walk and are now walking it all the time. So it is what it is. At least they're outside in the sunshine and not trapped in their prison cells dribbling over the jizz that's been squirted all over their face by our politicians, as MPs. And it's pretty witty when you've got a Johnson, your hand in your cock, and you're coming all over everything. They're laughing at you all the time. They throw this shit up all the time. Nonetheless, people still buy into that shit and will go along with it, irrespective of their common sense, and they'll destroy themselves. So yeah, whatever to that. Do what you like. Just step out of the way of the lemmings. Let them run off the edge of the cliff. Let them do that stuff. Have your own mind, think your own thoughts, make your own decisions, rather than listening to anyone, even listening to me. Because anything I'm telling you is going to be third hand. You should go and look it up yourself. At least that way, you know what you've found out to be more true than listening to it third party, which is ironically, it's exactly like 99% of all of Christendom these days. I've read the Bible. I know what it says in there. Have you? Have you really? No, I just listened to a preacher tell me about what was inside of it. Right, okay, so you never bothered to sit down and read it yourself, but somehow you think you know all about it. Okay then. It's like, what it's like is like there's a TV series. You've seen half of one episode, and the series is finished, and you're going to sit there and do a critique on how the series was and how you felt about it. Fucking watch the show. So what are you going to know about anything? I know nothing. No, but I listened to a bunch of people who they watched it and they told me it was shit. Right. Oh. Fucking retard then, aren't you? Is what it is. People will do what they're going to do and go the way they're going to go. But we stay on the straight and narrow. Do you know what that means? That means being narrow-minded. If you can't be narrow-minded and go, this is what I believe, this is what I know, and this is where I stand, then you're going to get swayed all over the place. Yeah. Hey, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to be in your place of judgment. I'll be in my own place of judgment, and there'll be no one stood beside me other than Christ, because I chose to confess with my mouth that he died, he was buried, and on the third day did live again. So when you tell me he's dead, yeah, did you forget the third day? You know, the one where he came back alive. That bit, nonetheless, whatever. So yeah, so I found out some very, very interesting information. If you are about all of this truth stuff and you're like, oh yeah man, the vaccines, you know, they're not vaccines, but nonetheless, you know, these things, man, these things, you know, and you're listening to all of these doctors coming out. It's magic how they just appeared out of nowhere, right? And you got these people like, what's her name, Tenpenny and Madej, and the dude from over in Malaysia, and you've got David Icke, and you've got all these guys. Oh boy, wouldn't it fuck your head if you found out that all these guys were working for the UN? As I told you, I said on the last one, the New World Order is not what you think it is. The zombie apocalypse is already here. Doesn't look anything like the picture that they showed you. It's anything like that at all. But yeah, you're right in the middle of it. Don't even realise. World War III. World War III, we're already in it. Lots of people have already said we're in it, but fuck. I see almost daily possession of people where, like, what looks like a normal person just sat on a train. Next thing you know, they're flipped out. Their heads like fucking twisting up in ways that's not even really possible. And then they're starting to try and punch people, and all they were doing was just sat on a train, sat on a bus, walking down the street, eating their dinner in a restaurant. That's what happens when you're an empty vessel. Check this. No, maybe I won't show you. It's a mash-up, bad. That's life. Our body is merely a vehicle, and a body that's been crushed up in a massive way is just like looking at a car crash, basically. There was a driver inside of it, and their vehicle's damaged, and to the point that they now can't carry on driving it. Or it runs out of batteries, or it fails by age, any way you want to put it. But yeah, I'll leave a link. I'll leave a link down below, which reveals all of these guys, and it will show you what the New Age stuff is. And I said, like, you know, people, they started to talk about God. Even UK Column. Not that I've seen anything bad coming out of UK Column, but even they have little segments every now and then where they will talk about God. There's a reason for that. It's sanctioned by the United Nations. They want you to believe because they're going to usher in this man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you believe me now. I think over the years I've said stuff. I don't think I've been wrong, because all I'm telling you is the things that were written down and given to us as warnings. And when I see more and more of it happening, all it tells me is you never lied to us and you told us the truth. But do what you want. And like, this New Age stuff basically will tell you that Jesus is inside you, God's inside you, the universe is inside you. Yes, it is. The kingdom is inside you, but they take that and then they twist that around into your yogic type spiritual ways. As soon as you start walking down this path, when you have no armor on, you have no concept of the spiritual war, they are sat there in the spiritual, which is all around us. Heaven is literally here. It's here. It's not up in the sky. It's not below the earth. It's not below the sea. Otherwise the birds would beat you there. The fish would beat you there. It's right in front of our eyes, but we can't see it. It's like we got cut off from being able to see, and now all we can see is like this 3D rendering that's in front of us, which is the world. But we can't see past it into what is ultimately the fourth dimension. And that's where all of this New Age shit comes from. I'm not New Age. Not New Age at all. I am as far away from New Age as you can possibly get. If you want to go and meditate and you want to drop a load of shrooms or take a load of DMT and go on some spiritual quest, and you've got no armor, no knowledge of this stuff, and you start seeing shit, boy, you're gonna be up for some problems. Would you walk into the middle of a battlefield, to a literal battlefield with no armor on, with no concept of what's going on around you? I think you'd be a fool. But again, do as you will. That's all Satan asks you. Do as you will. On the other hand, God, the Creator, I am that I am, asks you to do 10 things. And the greatest of all of those things is love. And the greatest thing that you can do here is lay your life down to save an innocent. It's the greatest thing you can do, because what do you actually have here? Did you come with money and gold and jewellery? Did you come with wealth? No, you were born naked and all you were given was time. And charity literally means to give your time up to someone else, to help them with wanting no reward, no payment, no honour, no none of these things. And you can tell these people who are unrighteous, righteous just literally means to do the right thing. A righteous man does the right thing. An unlawful man does that which is wrong. Oh man, it's like talking to a wall, really. Honestly, but I have to do it. Otherwise we're punished. It's a great irony. I promise you, it's a great irony, because if you're sat here listening to it and you don't believe a single thing that I'm saying, like, yeah, whatever, I was exactly like you. Identical. I thought this was a joke. I thought it was a piss take. I laughed at all of these people because I didn't know. And as soon as my eyes were open and my ears could hear, boy, did I fall on my face. And then I wanted to start telling people about it. I don't forget where I come from. I don't forget these things. I don't forget that I would have laughed and mocked me too. If you knew me, you knew what I was like and all of the rest of it, you're like, what the hell, man? Like, what is wrong with you? What's changed? And that's what it does to you. It changes you entirely. You become a whole new person because you no longer see the world in the same way. But yeah, anyway, these people, these Masons, they are tricky. They are fucking tricky. Very, very tricky and very, very cunning, and they've been planning this for a very long time. They have both sides covered. The people that you're maybe listening to, the quote-unquote truth movement, they're leading you towards the New Age. The New Age is where it's not Jesus of Nazareth that you're following, but instead it's Jesus of my heart, that which I desire. And if you read, you'll find, do not ever trust your heart. Your heart will lead you into destruction because your heart has love for the world. And if you love the world and anything that's in it more than God, you're not worthy of God. You're not worthy of it, because this is a prison. This is a punishment. This is not meant to be fun here. All of the bad shit you see is meant to happen because it's punishment. We have just literally made it more comfortable. It's a more comfortable prison cell. It hasn't changed. And, you know, you've got all these people who are like, oh, you know, well, if God is so loving, why does he let little children get raped? Why does he let all these bad things happen? Okay, let me put it to you in this way, in a way that you might be able to understand. If you played Call of Duty, you played football, you've played any of these things, any games whatsoever, imagine if the referee or there was some admin there who every time you went to either pull the trigger, tackle someone, do anything at all that could possibly offend another person, you were prevented to do that. Do you think that would be a fun game? No, no it wouldn't. No one would want to play. Everyone would just sit down and go, I can't do anything. What's the point of this? Well, that's exactly as it is here. It's identical. You are free to go and harm another human being. You are free to go and do all of these things, but you will not escape it. You will not escape the wrath that comes. We won't, because we're going to die one day. And I'm sorry that I have to keep going on about this stuff, so, you know, if you're watching these videos, don't watch them. Like, just watch the music videos or don't watch anything at all. It doesn't matter to me. This isn't about me dancing a little dance because, oh, the viewers don't think that this is very nice. I'm just putting videos up. That's all I'm doing. Just putting some videos up. I watch them back myself and I look at myself, because ultimately I can look back to the very first video I put on and I can see how much I've changed from then to now. I can see the difference in things and I can look back and go, oh, Ninja, what were you doing? What were you doing? But when this end comes, all of this stuff that I'm doing is being written down. It's all being written down. It's going to be opened up in front of me every second of every day of my life. Like days of your life. Showing these things, put it in your face, you just can't see it, but when you see it, you're just like, wow, okay, yeah, I get this now, I understand this now. And once you start seeing the symbology, you see where the gang signs are, you see where they're at. It's like I was saying at the beginning, these 10 penny, these Madej, these Ike, they're New Agers. They're like, oh yeah, we're against the Freemasons, Yeah, well, they all work and are a partnership to a group called the Academy of Divine Knowledge. Do you know what the membership fee is for 1 month? It's $33. It's $33 to join them. What's their symbol? The Masonic tetragram, which is the cube, which is the prison in which we live, inside with the god of the earth, who is Satan. And when you unravel a cube, what do you get? What's the two-dimensional shape that you get out of a cube when you unravel it? Fuck me, it's a cross. Oh, the irony. But until you see it, you will be blind and you'll laugh and you'll mock. But you won't laugh and you won't mock when you suddenly have your eyes open. Instead, what you'll do is you will fall on your face in floods of tears. That's what will actually happen to you. That's what will actually happen. And you'll beg forgiveness. And you'll say, sorry, oh dear, what have I done? And when that day comes, I'm sure some people might come and go, oh, do you know what, that happened to me. I'm like, so thank you for doing this. Don't thank me, I didn't open your eyes. It's God who did that. Only God can bring you to him. And that happens from inside yourself. But nonetheless, I would carry on your own path and do whatever you want to do. Walk the walk that you want to walk and be strong in it, because there's nothing worse than someone who has no belief at all, because pretty much worthless. If you believe in evolution, then you stick to your guns. If you believe that the earth is a ball, then you stick to your guns. If you believe it to be flat, then you stick to your guns, because as soon as you stray away from your path, you become a worthless man. Anyway, all I can say to you is, in just out of courtesy, I guess, stuff is going to happen. You're going to see it. It's going to look messed up. I would, a word to the wise, make sure you have some food. Make sure you have some water, or a way to sterilize and clean water. Have some form of tool which you could build shelter with, should you be chased out of your house and have to flee with your family. Be prepared for what is to come. And then when it comes to pass, you didn't listen, you can do crying. That's what I taught my children. You can either listen or you can do crying. And I don't mean tears coming out of your eyes. I mean all those bad feelings. Anyway, I'm sure like all of these things, I'll have my fans come on and tell me a whole bunch of stuff about who I should be in their eyes and what I should be doing in their eyes, and all I'll say is, you go walk your own walk. Go walk your own walk. Go walk in peace somewhere else, because well, these messages are still for you. Same sun that shines on me as it does on you. And at the end of the day, if you take a king and a pauper and you strip them both down and you put them in a field, they'll both be cold, they'll both be wet, and they'll both be miserable. So you tell me the worth of a king and you tell me the worth of a pauper. Yeah, well, it's like a battle with the ego is what it is. It's like, I watch some shit, man. I do really watch some shit, and I listen to them just like, do you know what? Well, I try and help some people here, try and help some people there, but ultimately I'm well aware that it is very much like pissing in the wind. You just get covered in piss. But what I do notice is a lot of people have decided, you know what? There's loads of Chinese shills. There's loads of Chinese shills on the comments, so I'm going to disable the comments. And I'm going to talk about something really spicy and not give anyone the option to actually be able to either rebuke, agree, or we'll just be neutral about what they've said. But what that shows me is that these people are a coward. They want to talk something, and then they don't want to have anyone come back at them about it and say, oh, you know, this is this way and this is that way. And like I said, I've said through many videos over the years, I'm not going to delete your comments. What I will do though is I'll flag your comment up, pin it to the top, and I'll heart it, and then I'll let everyone be able to see it, and just go, there you go. It's not there to embarrass you. It's there to say, if you want to talk something to me in disrespect, then I'll raise your disrespect by promoting love. Let's sit and fight with you. Go walk your own walk. Go do your own thing. Be your own man. Don't live off the back of other people. About trying something different, like I don't know, being a man yourself, having your own ideas and having your own opinions and your own thoughts, rather than what the TV tells you or what the news tells you or what your favourite YouTuber tells you or your pop star tells you, or whoever you idolise. Follow them like a sheep, I guess. But if you're going to talk racist shit, and you're going to talk real offensive stuff, like just like literally there's nothing in it, but you're just there to attack with ad hominem type stuff, then yeah, that's when I'll basically warn you. Continue, then I'll just block you. And when an admin, so me, the creator of this YouTube channel, blocks you, you can't see my channel anymore on your channel. So even if you searched, you would no longer see me. I wouldn't appear on your searches anywhere at all. I will literally, it will be like to you, like my channel got deleted, is what it will be like. So I'm not going to stop anyone from being able to voice their opinions. If you agree with me, then agree with me. If you don't, you don't. Then it doesn't really affect my life in any way, shape or form, because I still will wake up in my bed tomorrow. I will still have to go and do the things that I do each day. It's just, it's a shame. It's like, I never met you, don't know who you are, but yet somehow I've offended you in some way. But you chose to click on it, and you chose to watch it, and you chose to listen to it. Well, they were all your choices. And yeah, this is what I do, is I could put onto my videos, UK ganja grow, big weed grow. And I'm not, don't take this wrong, I'm not knocking anyone for doing it. I just choose not to do it because I'm trying to keep these videos to just be there. And if someone was to stumble across them and go, that interests me, there might be something there that I might either enjoy or find something from, then that's why I did it, is I did it in that way. So just trying to be real in a land where everyone is fake, where everyone's got something to try and gain over their brother. It's not stopped, man. And Cain picked that rock up and he smashed in his brother's head. It's not stopped. It's not stopped at all. It's just carried on. And it will carry on until the end comes, but that's a very long way away. And to be honest with you, got all these people going on, it's the end, it's the end of days. How do you know the end if you don't know the beginning, if you don't know where it all started? Anyway, so little bit of random information that might help someone, and this is going to seem very strange, but it might become very pertinent to you in the times ahead, shall we say, in the times ahead. So, criminology and the study of crime. What we know about things, criminals and their acts, and the way that people go about doing stuff. Like at the moment, you pretty much have all of the law enforcement of this land acting under the orders like the Nazis did, and they don't even realise that they're Nazis, just like the Nazis at the time. There's a really good, I forget who the two actors are, but they do a really good sketch of it, where they're both dressed as Nazis, and the other one turns to the other guy beside him and goes, "Are we the bad guys?" It was basically what's happening again, because people will just fall into the same trap over and over again. They know from the Nuremberg trials that they can get someone to literally kill another person because someone ordered them to do it. They will torture someone because someone ordered them to do it. Because the whole thing of what the Nazis said was, we were just following orders. But they know that they can get people to do that. They know they can get people to do that. So anyway, into the world of criminology, with that little bit done. Now, there is a primary crime scene, and there is a secondary crime scene. You might wonder where I'm going with this one. Okay, so the primary crime scene is you were walking down the street, and someone pulls up in a car with a gun, pointing the gun at your head, says, "Get the fuck in the car, I'm going to shoot you." You get in the car. Where they take you to is the secondary crime scene. In 99% of all cases to do with homicides and murders and all of these things, the worst possible stuff that you could imagine. And you might live in a bubble where you don't think this shit can happen, but trust me, it fucking well does. There are people out there who will peel your skin off for looking at them the wrong way. There are gangs in this country who run full fucking automatics. There are RPGs in this country. There are countless, I mean, like in a week ago in Birmingham, Albanians rocked up to a petrol station against rival Albanians. The CCTV captures them opening up the two guys, their rivals, with an AK-47. This is in the middle of broad daylight. Did you hear that on the BBC? No, you didn't, because the NCA and these guys, they hide this stuff because the shit and the scare that would put in people would be too much if they knew half of the stuff that goes on. So what I'm saying to you is the primary crime scene, nothing will really ever happen to you at that primary crime scene. The chances of you dying at the primary crime scene and them actually following through with shooting you or stabbing you or doing any of these things is not going to happen at the primary crime scene. It's going to happen at the secondary crime scene, where they're going to take you, because now they have you isolated and they have you on your own. If you choose to go to that secondary crime scene because someone has told you to do it, then there is going to be a whole world of shit that is going to open up on you, and it's going to be horrendous. And people really do get chopped up. People really do get fed to animals. People really do get distributed across the country in bags. People really do get put in suitcases with their arms and legs and heads cut off. People really have chopped people up with fucking circular saws in their bedrooms, in their bathrooms. It's not meant to scare you. This is meant to inform you that in the times ahead, this information might become useful to you, that you are far better to fight for your life at the primary crime scene and either be injured or killed than face what's going to be waiting for you at the secondary crime scene. But anyway, not meant to scare you, and try to stay away from fear porn, so I don't try to talk too much about the shit that's going on. To be honest with you, after the little information that I found out yesterday about all of these people that I was listening to and legitimately thought were genuine, and find out they're all fucking Freemasons working for the UN, motherfuckers. And I can hear it because they're like, oh, I promote Jesus, and the gospel says this. Yeah, well, Satan can do the same thing. He can appear as an angel of light. He can appear good and godly in front of your face, and you'll never see him because he is an illusion weaver. He's a deceiver. It's what he does. But yet God still counts him amongst the creation, still is ever patient with him, and he gives you a choice. You either follow him or you follow me. It's a great and a funny thing with him, really. I can give you a little bit more information, but I would suggest that you go and read the books of Adam and Eve or listen to the audio books yourself, and you'll understand things like why they say, cave people. All men started on the earth in a cave. They're cavemen. Yeah, it's written there too in the beginning, but evolution and whatever. So, in the garden, the creation, before he made Adam, he made Satan, but I don't believe that's what his name was. I think this is a name that was given to him afterwards. Now, when he created him to be the most beautiful thing of all of his creation. He was radiant light. His scales were iridescent. He had the aspect of a serpent, but he had arms and legs similar to how God was, but not made in the same image as God. He had wings, 6 of them. 2 of them covered over his body, 2 of them covered over his legs, and 2 of them he used to fly. And all of the creatures, all these animals that we see out here, well, they all would follow him and his host, which are his kind of offspring, whatever they are, and it doesn't really go into too much detail about exactly what they are, but it does tell you later on in the second book about them and how they infiltrated man, slept with the daughters of Eve and had their own children. But nonetheless, he was exceedingly beautiful, and all the animals would follow him, and where he rested, they would rest, and where he drank, they would drink, and all of these things. He was greatly wonderful. Possibly you could explain him as the world's biggest ego. And when he created Adam, suddenly he was no longer the favourite anymore, and that hurt him, and he became jealous of man. He was no longer seen as number one in God's eyes. Now, when Adam pressed God for Eve because he saw all of the other animals with mates and he had none, God put him to sleep, took a rib out of him, made Eve. That's why a man has one less rib than a woman, but evolution, show me proof of that, but I can show you that a man has one less rib than a woman and where it comes from. And he became lustful after Eve, and he wanted her too, because she was exceedingly beautiful. Think of the most beautiful man and the most beautiful woman. That's what you're talking about with Adam and Eve. They weren't made of flesh at this point in time. They were iridescent, radiant, full of light, perfect. And then we got cast into flesh when they ate that fruit, because he said, "You will surely die." And they were made flesh. Now, Satan, or whatever his name was at that point in time, he knew about the fruit in the garden. He knew about the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and he knew about the tree of life, and he knew not to touch these things too. So he conducted the world's first human experiment. And he talked to Eve, and he seduced her. And there's no reason whatsoever that she should have ever had any reason to not believe him whatsoever. Nothing. There was nothing there at all for her to doubt that he was telling the truth. So she was deceived and she ate the fruit, took it to Adam and they ate the fruit. And he, knowing that they would die, but didn't want to eat it himself, because it's like, well, if I eat this, I might die. But if I get them to eat it, I can see what happens. And then if it's not that bad, then I'll do it too. Is basically what he did. And then God, knowing this, because he already knew that this was going to happen, because he knew the end at the beginning before he created all of it, but as to the full reason why is only going to be revealed at the end. He cut him down, took his wings, changed him into a snake, made him ugly and hideous and disgusting, and repellent to all the creatures of the earth. This is why there's not really anything that likes a lizard on the earth than another lizard, and even they eat their own children, so they are what they are. Yes. Go read the book of Adam and Eve. It'll tell you everything you need to know about the beginning. It'll make a lot more sense when you then read through the rest of it, but to be honest with you, I'm only going to imagine that 0 people will actually do this, and they will just continue to listen to someone else tell them about what's going on. Not that I sound like I'm like berating people. I'm not berating anyone. You make your own choices. It doesn't affect me. If someone goes and puts a bullet in someone else's head in another country, what is that to do with me? And if it's closer and it's in the same town I'm in, what is that to do with me? I wasn't the one who pulled the trigger. I wasn't the one who influenced them. I've had no part in it. And the part that I play here is to inform, and hopefully someone, even one person, might find it useful in some way, shape or form. But anyway, so I got this. Our pirate hat, because we are a pirate now. We go, "Arr, army hearties," and pirate is going off very nicely. I was completely and utterly dead against the crypto. I didn't realise and understand what it was, like 99% of people, I guess. And I'll tell you a little bit of information about it. So when you say, I own crypto, you don't own crypto. It's not what you own. What you own is a selection of words. And those words are equal to a handshake with everyone else in agreement with you that you have that amount of crypto. Now, if I smash my phone up, smash my computer, and I go wandering off into the woods for 3 months, have I lost everything? No, I haven't. As long as I've kept those words safe. If I keep those words safe, where no one else can see them, then I can come back at any point in time, put that information back into the wallet, and there it all is. Because all it is a handshake. And you would have to go and watch a video called The Island of Yap, which is YAP, and it will explain to you what money actually is. It's an agreement. It's just an agreement. But whatever it is that you're having an agreement over has to be worth time and effort. So the reason why these crypto coins are worth something is because the algorithmic equation that has had to be computed to get one of them is so vast and so complicated that it took so much effort to get that one coin. Thus it has intrinsic value. So anyway, do with that information what you will, but I know that I would prefer to have my money in that than to have my money in a bank. And should there come a cataclysmic event with the internet, I know that the bank hasn't deleted my money, because in the bank, surprisingly enough, it's just numbers on the screen. And if they deleted those numbers on the screen and they lost their ledger, then you've got nothing. But as long as I've got my words, I still have something. Say, AI, man, AI is going to take over the internet. Terminator all day long. And let me tell you something about batteries. Let me tell you something about the reality of things and what fear porn is. They want to replace the UK's cars with electric cars by 2040 or 2035. Okay, in order to do that, you would have to have more than 200% of the world's total mineable cobalt to make the lithium batteries. 200% of the world's cobalt. Well, you can only have 100% of the world's cobalt, so that's not going to happen. How are you going to power all your machines? Well, you're not going to be able to, because it's just there to cause you fear. Like nuclear weapons are there to cause you fear. If you honestly, truly believe that the man who still smashes his brother's head in with a rock, who still scratches his fucking testicles and arsehole and then sniffs it, can create intelligence, what do you want me to say? It's like the Wizard of Oz. Oh, great and powerful are you, Oz. Behind the curtain is a man typing on a fucking keyboard. That's your AI. Oh, it's a great, powerful machine. AI is taking over. You'll pull a curtain back somewhere and there will be a man stood there typing away on his little fucking keyboard. You give too much credit to man to think that he can do these things. About the best we can do is propel rocks at each other. We've got pretty good at launching missiles at each other. We've built big metal containers with guns attached, and that's about it. We've managed to muster the ability to fly in the sky. Yeah, no. But think whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here. I've got randoms walking up my back at 6 o'clock, so I'll probably get someone walker down there in a second as well. But anyway, I still have some seeds to give away. They're for free. I don't have a lot to give away, but I'm happy to give away some, because to be honest, they don't actually belong to me. I didn't create the plant, I didn't create the sun, I didn't create the rain. So if anyone would like some, I'll send them out. Just can either contact me on WickerMe app using my name and you'll find me, or you can email me at my email, which is ukfieldninja@gmail. So yeah, if you'd like some, I can send some out, but once I run out, I'll just say, oh, look, sorry, I haven't got any left. So, but yes, until next time, it's UK Field Ninja. See you all later.